Where?
Good morning and welcome to Phoenix Business Exchange Bell's Corners edition. And you know what? It is a Monday. It is the 25th of May. The month is going by. Soon we'll be in hot weather, but not in hot water. Sorry, bad pun. I'm going to swing over to our Phoenix website. That's pbex.ca. You can come in through that path and also to visit us and check us out. All right, member of the week, Catherine Hurd. If you don't know what she's up to, click here. Click the video. If you want to get a hold of Kat, click here. And she has different means and ways to connect with you. All right. Actually, you know what? Let's dive down the rabbit hole. Let's click the card and see what happens. Ta-da! There it is. Purple Panda. And that's what happens with all of us. We all have an e-card we can all be connected with, right? So the detail on what we're doing, the social media links that are there, and other contact points inside the list, including the video. So just keep that in mind, folks. That's of value to you. All right, now how to get into the show, how to get into this meeting. Click here on the red button here, Monday morning, not med morning. Unless, of course, you're wrapped around a goalpost and you've hurt your body, in which case meds are important. All right. 8 to 9 Eastern is Bell's Corners group. Wednesday, same thing, except it's Wednesday. East End group, 8 to 9 Eastern. Thursday morning, 8 to 9 on South for the South group. May 26th, well, that's tomorrow, 7 p.m. We're meeting in online. And it's hosted by Penny Lee, and it's about accountability, staying on target with your goals. Available to all Phoenix members. Upcoming events, member events, click here and you'll find out about it. Canada Growth Network, we've got a session happening today. East Trade Winds, that's tomorrow. And so Canada Growth is 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern. East Trade Winds is 8 to 9 Eastern. And again, these two events are free to attend, so no problem. Come on in. Our in-person meeting for the at Hive will be on Monday, June 15th. That's kind of a change up for Wednesdays. They had successfully booked the morning on consecutive Wednesdays. So we're now meeting on Mondays at Hive, 7:30, either online or in person. Come on in. South End Group, River Lounge on June 25th at 7:30 a.m. A QR directed for all members. You hear someone talking. You just saw what I did with Kat's card. Same deal. Flip the switch and go. Come on in. All right. You want to apply? There you go. The red button there. All right. Now, what else? E-cards. So the fact that I just clicked Kat's e-card means it'll trigger an uptake on that one card, and that's what happens. It gives you a kind of a metric what's going on. To give you a sense of scope, what this all reflects, well, since 2016, we've had over $5 million worth of business conducted just between members. And year to date is $25,000 worth of business conducted between members. All right. If you haven't sent your stats in, if you're a Phoenix member, please do so. Send them in to Tony. I'm going to stop share and I'm going to swing over to Tony, who's going to give us an educational minute. Over to you, Tony.
Thank you very much, Bernie. Has it ever happened to you that the reason we're always looking at pricing, because every one of us has obviously a certain price that we have, whether it's a price that is set, whether it's an hourly thing, or whether it's something like a percentage, like it is with realtors, being Kelly and so on. If somebody says, "Can you do it for a little cheaper?" Because let's say there's something that is $500. That's your price, but they said, "Can you match the price of a competitor who's about $350? Can you match that?" It doesn't mean you have to match it, but what it does mean, you ask the person at that point, just as an example, to say, well, you're obviously asking me, so am I getting this that you would prefer to work with us if the price was the same? And if the customer says, yes, if you could match the price, I would do business with you. So it doesn't mean you have to match it, but it does suggest that they would rather do business with you for a certain reason. So you ask the client, well, what is the reason that you would rather work with me other than this other person? And then the client will give you sort of a list. Well, you're more efficient, you're faster, you have a better delivery. Whenever I come to you, you always have all the answers. Or whenever the figures and I know that if I give you my taxes, it's always going to be done right. And to give you sort of a whole list of things of why they would do business with you if you could match the price. So then you turn around and say, well, isn't that worth the extra $150? In other words, you're not trying to sell the 500, you're selling the 150, you're selling the gap. That's a great way to be able to get the client to talk themselves into how great you are, why they would do business with you, because I guarantee one thing, they're not going to go to the competitor and say, I want to do business with you, but there's somebody else that does it better, that they're just more expensive. They won't do that, but they'll come to you. So that shows that there's no way that they don't like your services. They just want to be able to make it cheaper. So just sell the gap. Don't sell. Like if somebody wants you to go down 1/4% or 0.5% on a realtor deal, then just sell. Am I not worth the 0.5%? Because look at all the other things you're getting. So don't sell the 4 or 5% or whatever it is for the industry. Sell the 0.5%. It's much easier to sell the gap than it is to sell the whole thing. Okay? And that is your minute education. Back to you, Bernie.
Tony, thank you so much. I much appreciate it. I posted the link to our LinkedIn Live, so feel free to put your contact details in there, share it. And the first quick promo is for East Tradewinds and as well as Marlowe. It's Marot that's going to be speaking tomorrow, and everything's there. I'm going to swing the mic over to Kelly and then head up Eric next. Kelly, what's been going on in your universe? Any BAMs, referrals, or cool stuff that's happening?
Yeah, thank you so much, Bernie, and thank you, Tony, for that interesting pivot on selling the difference. I like it. It does happen to me frequently where people look at my commission and they want to renegotiate it. So thank you. That's really helpful. Referrals, well, not really. A little bit of gossip about Carolee and how wonderful she is. Ongoing business with Shane, ongoing business with Catherine. Um, Eric, I'm working on my taxes now. I know my deadline's a little later than most people's. It's in process, I promise. Um, that's it. Working with a couple of active buyers, rural buyers are much more active lately. We are actually on the cusp of making an offer, which is great. And it's been a real adventure working with them. It's been such a joy so far, so good. So yeah, my name's Kelly Harrigan. I'm a real estate agent with Forest Hill Real Estate. I provide hands-on strategy-driven real estate guidance to buyers and sellers from Ottawa to Toronto. If you're a first-time home buyer, or if you're a luxury homeowner, and complex rural purchases, I'm doing all of that in real time. My clients do appreciate that I don't just unlock doors. I'm here to help guide you through confident decision making. I help analyze things. I look at the process from an objective analytical perspective. I notice patterns in what they desire, what they want, what they need, what they prefer, that they may not have been able to identify themselves. So if you're buying or you're selling or you're investing, downsizing, if you need someone to help your niece build their home equity by, finding their new home rather than paying into a rent, I'm your phone call. My goal is to help maximize the value of your dollar and maximize your value of your time without making any costly mistakes. So I've got your back. I'm going to post my contact information in the chat and pass the baton to the next.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. And just the next promo is the June 15th and location and so forth. And Mr. Eric Sonego and then Carolee. Go ahead, Eric.
Good morning. Eric Sonego, the accounting firm Cote and Associate Professional Corporation. We're accountants and management consultants. We do not worry about price. If the client questions price, we know that we're dealing with the wrong person. We don't worry about price. And nobody's ever asked me for my price. because they know that I lose my patience with people that want to discuss price. So in my firm, you are either a pro bono client, in which in that term we do you when we want, and you better be in social assistance. You better have something that makes you into a pro bono client, or you are a bono client, which means you are a paying client. And a paying client, knows the value of dealing with us. And the average client has been with us maybe 15 years. So I'm not worried about price. In fact, I use price to disqualify people. I pry myself out. I say to people that I don't like, you can't afford us. Go to a bookkeeper. Go to another someone cheaper. Because I don't want to get into the psychology of pricing. But we go out of our way to tell clients what we're doing for them that the average person cannot do for them. We tell people the difference between an accountant doing your taxes and you doing your taxes. You're doing your taxes. If you get into trouble, you have no credibility with the CRA, zero credibility, because it's your taxes. An accountant doing your taxes has no skin in the game when they're talking to CRA. And it's their numbers. So CRA questions their numbers, they questions the accountant's numbers, and they're much more careful in questioning the numbers. So if the client, if it's a personal tax client, if they don't know that, we don't have the time to explain it to them. I have a card from H&R Block, and I give them their phone number and their address, the nearest H&R Block, and I send them there. Once they go there, they're going to be paying 15% less than they do in an accounting office, sometimes more, and they're not going to get the service. By that time, you've crossed the line. You cannot come back here. If they call and they say they made a mistake, sorry, we cannot do you this year. Sit out for 2 years. Go to the penalty box. We do not get entangled in those kinds of arguments for two reasons. We're very busy. I have an in basket that is getting progressively higher and higher and higher. So I need to worry more about what I need to do than I want what I need to potentially do. And number two, people should never question your worth unless they're from the moon, and if they come from another planet, they're aliens. People should never question your worth when they come to your place, especially if they're referred by somebody. If they're referred by somebody, they should not question your worth, because that other somebody has already told them what your worth is. So, like if you want to put yourself in the same place that a farmer puts themselves when they're selling in the farmer's market, that's okay. You can differentiate yourself between your honey and the other guy's honey. You can explain to the people why yours is more expensive and what good they get from them. But if you're selling services, forget it. It's a race to the bottom, and a race to the bottom I don't want to get into. Anyways, we are located in Canada, 613-254-7310. Everything else is in the chat line.
Eric, thank you so much. And today at Canada Growth Network, we have someone who actually she's from Ottawa, Jessie Lynn McDonald. She deals with executive leadership and transformation. And again, you're more than welcome to come. Kara Lee, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you all. Good morning, everyone. I wanted to share some exciting news. So here at the Canada Food Cupboard, we have been making some small changes. We, as you know, are seeing more and more families needing assistance and support. So we've had to kind of reconfigure some of our shelves and some of our fridges. So Friday, we was like Christmas here for us on Friday. We have 2 new fridges, and I know that not overly exciting in your worlds, but in my world, that's like, yay. So we had a huge delivery on Friday with 2 new fridges. I had to reconfigure things. But in all of this reconfiguration, we realized that we want to make sure that our environment is as welcoming as possible for anybody that comes in, whether that's the families that we support, whether that's donors that drop by, or even for our volunteers. We want the most welcoming environment because, you know, it's really tough for a lot of people to take that first step and to come into a program like a food bank. So you want it to be, again, a positive experience. So with all that being said, we reached out to a local mural artist here in Ottawa, Robbie at Fall Down, I think is how he pronounces his Instagram name. And Robbie is probably known to a lot of you. You've probably seen his work at many different places, many different businesses throughout Ottawa. Well, we had the pleasure of having him here last week to do a welcome mural in our kind of lobby entranceway. Is it okay, Bernie, if I share my screen and show you what it looks
go
like?
for it. Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
absolutely. Go for
It'll
it,
be
Carolee.
fast. Let's hope I can do this quickly because I'm not always the best at sharing. Can everyone see my screen?
It's coming up. It's loading. Ta-da.
Bingo, wonderful. So this is Robbie, this is the artist, and he spent Tuesday morning with us last week, and this looks absolutely amazing. So I'm going to hopefully be successful with clicking and showing you the time lapse. Can you see the time lapse there?
Yep.
Excellent, excellent. So this man is a genius, you know, and he took all of our core values, so inclusiveness, dignity, respect, compassion, all those keywords, and he included those in the mural. He also included welcome in 5 different languages. So you'll see it there, English, French, as well as Arabic, Ukrainian, and Russian. And then he included a lot of the things that are important to us, you know, obviously the diversity of the families that we support. You'll see the little plane up there in the corner, the Canada Food Cupboard. We've been around since 1985, so we included that. And then just lots of welcoming pictures. You'll see at the bottom there all the different pots showing how things grow and where we are proud of having our fresh food program and our garden. You'll see the bees there, the importance of pollination and all about coming together and working together and being a part of the greater community. So there is a little bit of an empty spot there in the middle. In the bread box there, that's where our logo is going to go. So we haven't got that one finished yet. That is in the works. So the logo goes in the middle. So what a great week we had last week, having that mural done, having our new fridges. So we were thrilled to be able to partner with Robbie and have that as the first thing that you see when you come into the Canada Food Cupboard. So if you're up our way in Canada, please stop by and have a look. It's one thing to see it on Instagram or on our social pages, but to see it in person, it's very impactful. So thank you for letting me share that. And as a reminder, every food bank in the city is seeing record-breaking numbers of families needing support and assistance. So please don't forget to support your local food bank. Thank you all.
Carolee, that was an awesome share. So thank you so much. And a great artist. Where is he located? In Canada or Ottawa, just in general?
Sorry, I'm on mute. He's in Ottawa. He used to have a storefront down on Bank Street, but now he works I guess remotely. So you can contact him through Instagram, but he's all over the city. You'll be amazed at places that you'll see his work. He's pretty impressive.
So
Awesome.
we should go by with some colored markers to color it.
Yeah.
Carolee, thank you so much. Next person coming up on the scoop will be Shane. And sorry, Shane, I didn't give you any heads up on that one. Just between Shane coming online, hey, Phoenix members, use CAT services to help promote your content inside the Phoenix channel lineup. Shane, over to you, sir. Go ahead.
Hey guys, I'm here upside down. Now I'm right side up. This year with my kids, taking them to school. Wife's got a migraine. If you're wondering, we do treat migraines and different things. So if you have something along those lines, it's something worth checking out, especially if it's a tension type of headaches and things like that as well. We do that. So on the other front of where people are talking about, discounting services and stuff like that, our business is all about discounting services half the time. You go online and they're like, oh, you're going to get online, you can get the 15% off, you get a free consultation, or all those different things. We're in the business of results, not discount rates, or how would people say time? We always get the things like, well, you only spent this much time and it says it's a half an hour appointment or it's a 20-minute appointment. It's about what we can get you better. I'm like, are you feeling better? Well, yeah, I'm feeling better, but I'm like, there's no buts here. It's about results here. If you're not happy with your results, we definitely want to be there for your results, or we want to refer you to someone that can get those results for you, right? Because that's what people are there. They're not coming to here to spend time with me and chat it up, even though sometimes I feel like I chat too much and sometimes they're there and they're having a good time as well. So we try to keep it within restraints and make sure that you guys are getting what you kind of need with that, right? And I have to put that through too, to show you value and that what we're doing is valuable, and that because sometimes people are like, oh, I have pain or whatever, and it's still there. I know, but your range of motion is better. Your smoothness of movement is better. The quality, your strength. So are those not things that are showing that we're going in the right direction? So sometimes it's educating your patients, just like Tony said, saying this is what you're getting from me. You're educating them about the value you guys are producing. Value is everything. When people can see that and you can show them the value that you're getting, you're right. The price point usually doesn't matter overall. And if they are just looking for the discount rate, then by all means, they can find that. We've done the online marketing where it's like, okay, here it is, a little bit of discount rate off the bat. And then when that happens, they usually are only there for 1 or 2 sessions, then they're gone anyway, right? That's what they're bargain shoppers. They just want the quick fix. And most things you guys have been working on for years has gotten worse and worse, and you have left it to be. And then you expect us to clean it up in, 1 or 2 visits. That's not going to happen. It's a partnership, from an exercise to advice to treatment and so on and so forth. So it's not something quick that we can do. So we are always trying to get you the value that you deserve, the quality, and explain to you what we can do for you. And hopefully our 2 minds combine going, aha, Eureka, right? And everybody's getting that done. Anyway, I'm Pro Action Health and Performance. I'm Shane Bayless. I hope your time is well spent with results and efficiency. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you soon. Enjoy your lovely Monday.
Shane, thank you so much. Next quick promo is Mike Wazowski. If you need someone to do a stand-in for you, reach out to Mike. He can present your business in the group and share it at large. And I'm going to swing the mic over to Kat next.
Hey everybody. So you've all got tidbits that go on in your business. You've all got little hints and little tips. You've all got value that you should be sharing with your clients and perhaps don't. You've all got exciting news, whether it's the new fridges that were delivered, the mural that's just been designed, whatever. These things are really important. These are the things that connect with your clients. They want to know what's going on in your world. They want to connect with you, your world, and therefore your business. So my question to you is, what are you doing with all of this information? Are you sharing these tidbits, these exciting bits of news, the value that you're providing, why your price is your price? So they want to know that, not that you can change, there's $150 difference between you and X person. They want to know, why do you charge $150 more? What can you deliver that nobody else can deliver? So get those things put up on social media, get them put in blogs, get them put in emails, tell everybody what's going on in your world and allow people the opportunity to connect with you, your world, and your business. Thanks, Bernie.
Yeah, awesome. Tony, look up, look into the camera, deeply into the eyes. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Bernie. When someone, just to go on Shane's lead there, if someone does say that you finished early, it was supposed to be a half hour and you did it in 20 minutes. And my response is, oh, thank you so much. It's just taken me 20 years to do it for 10 minutes less for the same thing. So that's a really good way to do that. Yeah, it's Tony Jennis, Hire Yourself. We had a great weekend. We finished our sound bath last week, and it was quite amazing. That a lot of people that were there. I'm still getting email. Got one this morning that they're still vibrating. There's something about the sound baths that we're producing, and because the thing is channeled, it's not me. It's just it's a 2-hour thing, and it was interesting because at one point we did record it, and then at the end of the day, when everything is zipted, it wasn't there. Like we couldn't find the recording. So somehow there was a mix-up that somebody had sent out a transcript or something to record it, and I thought we would get a copy of it, and we didn't. And so it's amazing because the theme of it was about the gray cloak. We talked about that in my classes. And it's all about this energy that just wants to constantly give you irritation. Well, it worked for a little bit. Because I was looking for this and people were saying, where's the recording? Where's the recording? I'm still looking for it. So out of the 20 people that were there, we did find the person that had it. And then it was encrypted and it was all kinds of energy. So I knew what the energy was doing. And so it really makes a difference when you see how energy works. So when something is a setback, you realize, okay, I gotcha. I see how you're doing this. So it's almost like you can see the strategy in which they're trying to make you upset. So in this month of May, right up until probably the middle of June, tweetering to the end of June, but middle is when it's going to start to dwindle out. Is if you get upset, get these links, things that you didn't expect, and it gets you upset. Just realize it's not you; it's just that energy poking at you. So anyway, we get it all done, and so people, we got the audio version, and then I spiced it up a little bit with some editing and so on. So they got a really good product by the time we sent it out to everybody. Excuse me. And one of the things that we got, some of the new ones that Kat is always saying are new, I've been trying to get a stone called dioptes. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of it, but it's in a very rare stone. It's a green stone, and I wanted it in raw, but I went to like 7 suppliers. Nobody had it because this stone is ideal for forgiveness. If you're holding a grudge, you have a really hard time forgiving somebody for what they did. That would include family. This stone is amazing, and nobody had it. And it's expensive, so even when you do get it. So anyway, I put the word out to a couple of people, and then one supplier said, I have some. I have only like 5 strands of these things, and they come in strands, so we take them down, and we have these little pieces. But even though it was expensive, I didn't negotiate the price. Whatever it is, I know the worth, so I'm willing to pay because I would have it, sort of thing. So we're going to turn these into pendants and little stones that you can put in your pocket. And this is amazing for just mostly forgiveness, self-sabotage, that kind of thing. And I have a lot of clients that are in that, where they feel that they don't deserve something or whatever. And so these are great stones. So that's what worth is all about. When you know the industry, you know what things are worth, I'll take it. He said, I only have 5 strands. I'll take it because then it does 2 things. And number 1, it does that I have a supply, and number 2, no one else can get it, and they'll have the same difficulty as I did. So when you look at what you're worth and you send it out that way, it's amazing that you can now offer this to your clients because they're worth it. All right. So Tony Jennis from Higher Self, we are here to raise your spirits. Ongoing business with, of course, Eric and Carolee. I love that mural. Is that at the very entrance when you're coming in? Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's a good wall. Yeah. So yeah, we should go out and see that. And ongoing, I had a BAM with Kelly about a week ago, I believe. And of course, ongoing conversations with Kat all the time. She's always trying to keep me in line. So thank you, Kat, for that. You're such a value, you know. So we will. It's been 2 weeks now, so it's been quite a bit. So we're going to try and get a couple of extra people on this Monday group. With a couple of people that we're working with to get them to join us in this group. So we'll work at that. Okay. Thanks a lot, Bernie.
Tony, thank you so much. And well, podcasts do that. Talk to people about the business journey and whatnot. I've got something called the blog post, and it covers all the different content that's coming up. So it's broken out in a couple of different ways. What it's about, etc., takeaways, FAQs, links. So something to check out. And it covers the Knack for Business podcast. It covers East Trade Winds and Canada Growth Network. And well, let's see, BAM-wise, we had a meeting about golf. So we're going to pair up with St. Louis restaurant, and just going to get access to that to the sign up sheet. It's $175, and I believe it was August 14th. Carolee, do you remember the date again? Sorry, August 14th. Oh, my memory's working good. This is good. At least something. Golf, $175, and it's 18-hole game. Food's involved, and prizes. And if you want to be a sponsor, there'll be more details coming soon, so you can also. And this is all in support of the Canada Food Cupboard. All right, so just keep that in the hat. East Trade Winds last week. Tony, Carl, and Jacqueline were there, and Carl and I did a podcast a week before, and Carl was also presented because he was at Canada Growth Network doing a presentation. And he's also in part of that stream, and it's how to be an effective guest on a podcast. And with that said, for the mastermind, for the little bit of time that we've got, it's about building your authority stack. So I've just posted in the chat. Podcast is part of it, but you know what? It's not necessarily Knack for Business podcast, any podcast. So round robin, what are you doing to make you stand out as the authority? Right? It's not just a matter of hi, I'm pitching you this. What are you doing? I know, like for example, Shane does YouTube videos with his colleague down in the States, and to help help you understand your recovery. I'm going to open the mic. Does anybody feel like jumping in? Eric?
I'm trying to understand the question here.
Okay, how do you build
Yes.
your authority stack? How do you build so people know to talk to you when there's hundreds of people out there that might be doing the same thing? How do they know that you are the most established, most knowledgeable, either in a niche or in an area? Go ahead, Eric.
Okay, well, first of all, you have to be very confident on yourself. You have to know yourself that you are able to do the job, and you're able to do it well, and you have more experience than other people have. That is the most important thing you need to have. It's internal, it's not external. So if you are confident on yourself, if you don't bring too much baggage to your position, by that I mean, if you have a disagreement with your spouse, it's not the client's business for you to show that you have had a disagreement with your spouse. You have to be neutral when it comes to your feelings in front of anybody else. And you have to be able to have the ability to have several tasks going at the same time. And you have to do something that is very difficult for some people to do. You have to act as if that was the only client you had. It's not just one of the many clients. At 11 o'clock on a Tuesday morning, when that person is here, that's the only client I have. And I treat it as if I had no other job to do. That was the only client I had. When they leave, the 12 o'clock comes, I treat that as the only client I have. Mm-hmm. So it's very difficult. And the reason I don't discuss price with my clients is because, people don't know what their problem is until they come to you. And that was taught to me as a first-year student at Clarkson and Gordon in Toronto. When someone, who was my age now, talked to me, and I was, 25 years old, I said it many times. They said to me, you don't have time to explain to people why you're better. You don't have time to do that. Just tell them, I am the aspirin that you need for your headache. You know, that's that, and you know, because most people that come here, believe it or not, have a financial headache. They are either in problem with the government, they're either in problem with their partners, they're either in problem with their own bookkeepers. They have a financial headache. We do not deal with the financial headache. We just cure it. And then after we solve the financial headache, that's when we send the invoice. And I repeat that because I have staff that forget that. I have staff that forget that get bogged down with the client. The client doesn't want you to be bogged down. When you go to Kelly, the client doesn't care. You know that it's raining today. That that Kelly had to pass an exam. That Kelly is qualified. They don't worry about that. They have a house they want to sell, or they have a house they want to buy. After the transaction is completed, you can talk to them about how great you how experienced you are. You can talk to them about how enjoyable it was to deal with them. You can talk to them about all of that kind of stuff. And as in particular for accounting, we have to be on top of people. We have to be on top of our staff. We have to be on top of our clients. My job today is more of a traffic cop. I send things to my staff. I send things to my client. If the client sends me stuff, and it's my staff that is doing most of the work, I send it to them, and I diarize it, and I bug my staff, and we have meetings every week as to where are we, what are we doing, and all that kind of stuff. And being part of a national firm now is more important for me to bring those habits to a larger group of people. But I have people here who will not deal with some people. I have staff people here who will not deal with some clients because they're aggressive, because they challenge. So all of those people, I said to my staff, I'll do it. I'll deal with them. And strangely enough, when they deal with me, they lose all that aggression. They lose all of that questioning, because they probably think, well, I'm dealing with a guy now, and I'm not going to question that much, right? And he's going to give me the answers. But sometimes stuff gets lost in rabbit holes. Sometimes they get lost in rabbit holes, whereas I am paid by people not to get lost in a rabbit hole. I take them out of the rabbit hole. That's how I operate.
Eric, thank you. Kara Lee, I'm going to swing over to you. And how do you promote your, you're doing it already. How do you promote your authority stack? How do you do that, reach out with the community, newsletters, podcasts, other communication paths? Is it a mix? Is there a strategy? Is it a marketing plan? What's the scoop?
Well, for us, it's a little bit, we're unique in the sense that we are the only food program that's here in Canada. And the way most food banks are set up here in our province, it's very much based on geography. So every little program is set for a particular audience. So in the sense, here, obviously anybody in Canada, we do kind of go a little bit north a little bit up into the Dunrobin area. But what's important though is to stay on top of it. And I really appreciate all the tidbits that Kat tells us every week, because it's so important to be present all the time. You don't want to just do a post once a month. You don't want to just send out an email once a year, right? It's staying on top of it. So we really pride ourselves in having a very active social media. And whether we use our, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, even now we're trying to get more into our YouTube, just to try to make the community present. And it's also about partnerships. And it's really important for us, being the only food program here in the community of Canada, to have those great partnerships with our community associations, with our city councillors, our MPP, our MP, as well as our, business partners as well. So it's just about being present, staying on top of it, and keeping everybody abreast as to what's going on. So I know the example Kat joked with used, it was, I kind of chuckled inside about the fridges. We've already taken pictures of our new fridges, and that's going to be shared in this next week. So it's just staying on top of it, and letting people know that we're here, how we can help others. What's great with us, we also have a wonderful community resource center here in our community. So the Western Ottawa Community Resource Center, and our relationship with them is wonderful. So anybody that's new that has a whether it goes to them for a program or comes to us for a program, we promote each other, and it's just about keeping our community abreast as to what's going on with our programs.
Perfect. Shane, are you available for a quick chat, or are you busy with the wee ones? Yeah, 3.
Hey guys. Yeah, I'll just talk quickly about it. For us, it's all about talks, right? So, 1 second, guys. Okay. All good. So for us, it's about talks, personal talks, because when people see that you're the authority, they want to hear you say it. It's not a brochure that comes in. It's about how they connect to you overall. And the YouTube stuff, that's just where they kind of get you, how would you say, get more recognition that the reviews are real and that you're actually doing things in the community, or you're doing things online that's trying to promote you education wise. That's why I find these groups are really great, because it forces you to go, what can I talk about today, to say, what am I good at? And when you start making these, things, you can communicate better with your patients or your clients, and you can basically say how things are different. And if you're not prepared for those questions, it gets you prepared for those questions. So it's a really great thing to be involved in these groups, to get these presentations done, talk to groups, right? That's where, I can remember going to a running room. I think I had 12 people, and 4 of them booked new patients with me. Like, they resounded with the way you talked. They said, yes, I can use this. And you can answer those questions in real time. So if you are an expert in your area, that's a great time to do that, and to get everything else done. So that's how we kind of do things for an authority kind of point of view. And we try to be as open as possible. When people do ask us questions, we respond back to them as quickly as we can, even if we can't answer that question. Anyways, and a good referral network. So if you have people like, I have an optometrist that I refer to a lot of times. I have sports medicine in Carleton University. So we have a good referral group too. It goes, okay, when he's outside his scope, he goes out and gets those people, or he knows good people in that area, and that they intercommunicate. So that's huge too, going forward as well. Okay, I think now I'm done.
Shane, awesome. That was bang on, man. Kelly, what do you do in your space?
My space is pretty unique. Yes, of course, a little bit of social media goes a very long way, capturing moments in time as I'm executing my work. Most of the time, whenever a client approaches me, I make it very clear that I am also interviewing them. They're not just interviewing me, because when I'm dedicated to a client, I am very much focused upon them. And I think that's communicated very clearly and effectively in the beginning stages. And then I don't sell myself. What I do is I share freely education, and I provide them with a list of questions they need to ask themselves to establish if they are ready to buy or if they are ready to sell. What are the situations? Where are you in this stage? Have you considered this, and this? And I'm certain that no other agent is going through this type of process with them. And if they are, that's great. They have more people to choose from. I don't compete for my business. I let my clients see how thorough, mindful, and deliberate I am. And if that's harmonious, wonderful. If we're not going to be a match, guess what? I'm not interested in working with you either. God bless. See you later. Good luck. You're going to get your goal achieved somehow, just not through me. So that frees me up to move on to the next person or people. And that's really how I prefer to run my business. They talk agencies and brokerages will talk about scaling up and getting a team beneath you and doing as many deals as you can and setting your numbers as a goal. I approach my goals differently. I would prefer to do a smaller volume with a higher quality of client satisfaction. So I freely share my education. I freely share what I've learned. I freely share my systems with my clients so that they understand. I track every showing. I do a very comprehensive comparative analysis between the many properties that we see. The current buyers I'm working with have already seen more than 15 homes. How can people keep track of that? I'm keeping track of it for you the whole way. And I'm juxtaposing cost, attributes. We're looking at it very clearly. When it comes to my sellers, I am watching their competition on the market like a hawk. So they don't have to. They can worry about packing and they can worry about the feelings that are going to be coming up and the experience of being a buyer and unearthing themselves from their home. That's important work for them to do. My work is looking at the market. Who else is up there? Are we priced correctly? What is the feedback from all of these showings? How are people viewing it? What can we anticipate people trying to use to leverage to lowball our price? These are all things that I want them to be informed of ahead of time. So when someone comes up and says, yeah, but the lawn looks really bad. We're ready for that. We are braced for that. We've established that. That's not a shocker because sellers are oftentimes already in a state of upheaval. We don't need to rock their boat anymore. I want to stabilize them as much as possible. So I guess to your point, yeah, this is actually a gap in my business. I don't spend enough time advocating, and I do need to be farming the local networks. I have a relatively strong referral system. It can always be better. It can always improve. I can always get out, network more, meet more people. That being said, there's often only so much time in a day. So I I can do better with that from a business standpoint. When it comes to inter-client relationships, I'm quite happy with the tone I've struck and the way that I conduct my business. And I don't have anything less than 5-star reviews, so they sort of speak for themselves. And I can be proud of that.
Kelly, thank you so much. Kat, how about yourself?
I'm a chatterbox. I like to chat to people. I like to educate people. Kind of like Kelly, I work with people how do I phrase it? I don't want to phrase it the same way as Kelly. Like it's a customized service, so I don't do the same thing for every client. I think I have one client that I feel like a puppet, which is the one where I get sent a chunk of content, not all of the content, but I get sent a chunk of content that I have to copy paste. I hate doing that. I'm not a puppet. I like to write. I am a natural born creative. So I like to educate people on what do I need. I mean, Kelly will tell you she gets phone calls, text messages, but Tony's probably the same. And it's like, I need you to go and create this video. I need you to tell me about this. What's happening with that? And that's what I do. It's about educating people how to do stuff. And then what they do is they go out and they say to people, hey, this is working for me. If you need somebody to help you with that, it works that way. So they kind of bring people to me. Yes, I go on podcasts. Yes, I do presentations with people. I just like to educate you because you don't know what you don't know. And marketing is one of those things that people don't get, people can't connect with, but it's something that it works the way my brain works. So if I can educate you and teach you how to find what works for your business, that works for me. And I hope that answered the question.
Kat, it did. It
Good.
did. Tony, you got 1 minute. Sorry, we're at 9.
1
That's what I'm
minute,
saying.
but
You got
Tony.
1 minute, man. Compress it, pack it tight.
So, one of the things I've noticed all around is that if taxes were easy, we don't need accountants. If just giving food out was so easy, we wouldn't need someone like Carolee. If easy to sell your home, people would just come to you, give your top price. We don't need realtors. We need all these people, and even if they say that, if I have a trauma, they can heal themselves, they don't need me because they have all the answers anyway, and they can tap into it. They don't need me. But here's the thing is when it gets complicated, that's when we need these people. But before we sort of meander through and get all the answers, it's going to be too long. And we need people that are in it and they know what they're doing, they know what they're saying. The way I do it is that every morning I go through a little bit of a list or some of the people that I've been envisioning over the last couple of days, and I just send them a note. Hey, I've just been tapped on the shoulder. How are you doing? Just wanted to reach out. He says, oh, Tony, you come at the right time. And so in other words, I come with a place of insight. And if that's what people are looking for, then I'm your guy. If you got all the answers, I'm going to waste your time. If you have all the answers, there's nothing I can do anyway, because even if I did give you all the answers that Spirit wants, you're just going to go and do what you want to do anyway. It's interesting. One more note before we go. It's interesting that I also do pro bono stuff as well for people that are homeless and they have no money, and I do that as well in my own way. And it's interesting that the people that don't pay, they don't always listen to your advice, but the people that come in for sessions, they always listen. So maybe there's something in that. I always get calls that, okay, I put some money into this. How is it? You mean you've already put money in? Because I'm getting a no. So it's always that. And it's those are the people that don't pay. So in other words, even though you want to help, they still will do their own thing. And so you come with a place of expertise in any profession, so that you could solve a problem. Okay, a hole needs to be done with a drill, sort of thing. And you're the drill, sort of thing. You need to make that hole. They can't get through it otherwise. So that's my thing for today. Hope that was okay, Bern.
Oh, Tony is perfect. Thank you. I'm going to close this off with the quote. And the quote for the day is, "The challenges you face introduce you to your strengths," from Epictetus.